It's really not the easiest right now to get a job.
You don't really know when you're younger what you want to do.
Nobody knows everything as soon as they walk into a job.
There was definitely a period of my life where I thought, oh my goodness, I'm never going to find anything.
We know it feels harder than ever looking for a job right now. So many of you have been in touch with the BBC to tell us your stories of your job hunts. So what if I told you there are 6 key skills that really matter? I'm Branwen. Come with me while we check out these skills. In Staffordshire, imagine learning to work up here. It takes a lot more than a head for heights to repair overhead lines.
We put a lot of investment into expanding this training school, and we've got some qualified, really good experienced trainers who actually train new cohorts to help them develop and give them the skills they require to work on the overhead line.
To work at these incredible heights, how focused do you have to be?
Laser focused. 100% concentration levels are required when the guys are working in these conditions.
What opportunities are there in terms of what's happening to this industry? Is this somewhere where there are going to be jobs in the future?
100%. For anybody what wants to, have a career in the transmission world, I think it's a fantastic time for younger people to come and learn and develop their skills and make a real future of it.
I met Maria, a recent graduate who works in the strategy team, and Alicia, who's doing a degree apprenticeship in quantity surveying. Maria was into politics and the debating society at uni. So what's she doing in this kind of business?
I think we go to uni, you study one certain degree and you think you're only going to be in that realm. I think exploring out and being proactive, and you can actually do anything. I did political science and I'm now in the construction industry, so I think definitely being proactive in anything. Don't limit yourself.
Alicia was a cheerleader, which taught her about teamworking.
Coming into the industry, you reflect what you were like when you entered versus now, and the development is completely different. I'm much more a confident person. It's a great industry to be a part of.
And one reason is they expect to grow at a time when other businesses are losing jobs, so they're on the lookout for the right people.
The things we look for in people are things like ability to problem solve and make decisions, to look at data literacy, to think about their collaborative ways of working and team building. We're very often looking at how people would approach something. So we're not expecting every young person to have come across every scenario, but perhaps they've had to do something when they were at school that was maybe a team building exercise. So what role would they play?
We're seeing so much talk about AI getting rid of jobs. Is that the case for your industry?
Absolutely not. If anything, it's going to create more jobs. We need people who really understand it, who can think in that very data literal way. So that entry-level skill set is going away from the very manual type of tasks we would have previously done, and much more focused on how we work with the volumes of data and technology that we've got.
Well, we found the first 2 skills, problem solving and decision making, and then information literacy. That's how you use data. We know that AI is going to disrupt the world of work and that some entry-level jobs will go. But that doesn't necessarily mean fewer jobs in every sector. More that at every level, from the beginning of work onwards, people are going to need to be able to manage complex data skills. And that's what I've heard here. This is the Barber factory in South Shields, famous for heritage wax jackets. Wow, look at this. Addie is working here in an industry placement from her uni course. Had you any idea of how a factory works before you came on this placement?
No, I hadn't ever been in a factory before, other than learning about it in lecture halls and, the sort of theories behind it. You come into a factory and it's amazing to see how it works.
Addie is the link between customers who have old jackets they love and the factory which repairs them. In fashion, they call this circularity.
You come across so many issues that, might be quite niche to circularity, but it's quite satisfying when you solve that problem, which can also require some creative thinking to, think outside the box.
Tell me about what this is taught about working across teams with many different people.
I think it's about clear collaboration and communication as well. You know, there are a lot of people that need to be kept in the loop on certain projects, so I'm often communicating with not only the warehouse but the factory and the shipping team as well, just to make sure everyone's up to date on where you're up to.
So this is what it looks like, completely unwaxed, right, okay. As I found out, it takes a lot of time and care to bring a jacket back to life. I can see this could become very satisfying because you've got to make sure it's even across every bit.
Good job, actually. I'm going to give that a 10.
Wow, high five. Jodie spent 4 years after uni looking for a permanent creative job, almost losing hope. Now she's training at Barber as a machinist, a job she found by looking at their website.
It means a lot because I just don't think there's many jobs out there right now for like entry-level people who want to make things. So yeah, it's been really, really nice and I've appreciated every moment of it and I've learnt so much.
Jodie says not giving up has got her here, even when it felt really tough.
I definitely was starting to think it won't ever, but I'm here and evidence that it will.
I feel quite emotional listening
emotional
to
speaking about it.
because you're obviously so delighted and proud to be here.
I really am.
Got head office, factory, warehouse, retail. We all depend on each other, so each department is interlinked with one another. So working as one team is really important. You can tell those candidates that have just whipped an application in and not really given it much consideration, and those that truly have a real passion for the business. We'll ask questions that are quite generic around, give us an example of when, you know, something's not gone to plan and how did you get it back on track. So even though they might not have worked in a specific work environment, they can call on experience doing voluntary work or a school project.
So that's 2 more skills acquired: collaboration, that's how well you work in a team, and creative thinking. What I've learnt from talking to Addie and to Jodie is that it's sometimes worth looking for a business that you like the look of. You like their story, what they do or where they are, and then approach them directly. Look for opportunities on their website. Approach someone who works there and try to find out more about the company. If you're open-minded and you take the chances, something eventually should turn up. There's no one way of looking for a job and landing it, but some businesses still really value meeting you in person. So thank you for letting me this side of your bar.
Yeah, welcome
It is
back.
so many years since I've worked behind a bar, and actually only some things have changed. Jake's the new manager here at North Bar, so there was one cheeky question I had to ask. Can I have a go?
Bring the tap straight down.
Right, okay.
All the way down and tilt the glass.
Tilt the
Angle
glass.
about 45
oh, look, I've
degrees.
Got
We're
way
going a
too
little
much
bit
foam.
lively. Yeah.
Might have to have another go.
I think
Fully pull the tap.
all the way back to fully open it up. See, there we go.
Okay,
Much
there we
better
are.
already.
Already
Yeah.
better. Already better.
But
Look at that. I've got some way to go, I think, to get my bar skills back. That's just ludicrous, that one. What's your top tip for getting a job?
I think confidence is massive. Even with that lack of experience, be confident in who you are as a person and your ability to learn new skills and rise to new situations. And also the ability to show a little bit of initiative. You know, nobody knows everything as soon as they walk into a job. We can teach somebody everything they need to know, but we can't teach attitude, we can't teach their you know, ability to handle certain situations.
It's just so nice to hear how much you've got from work, and these are some of the skills that we're thinking about: the communication skills, fitting into a team, the emotional intelligence to deal with people as a situation unfolds. And right at that moment, Elle walked in with her CV looking for work.
I've spent the entirety of today walking around in and out of places with CVs. A lot of times you go in and it's sort of this attitude of, we have it online. They kind of don't even want to interact with you on person to person. I take the approach of kind of just in person, coming in, chatting with people. They get an idea of your personality, because I think that matters quite a lot, and that doesn't always come across on a piece of paper or online. I think it's good for your confidence to speak to people every day, and people that you wouldn't necessarily come across in everyday life.
Learning how to speak to people from many different backgrounds, from different countries, learning how to communicate with people who struggle to communicate. And I think it's a really important skill to learn. No matter what role and job that you're going into, it's important that you can organise, you can multitask, you can identify who's next at the bar. And remember that. We've always had a real interest and a real focus on bringing art into the space. So, you know, we recruit people who have creative backgrounds. I think it's really important that we're always moving forward, and we've got to look at younger generations to say, well, what can you bring? How can you help us innovate, and how can you help move the business forward, keep it relevant, keep it fresh, and bring your personality into the business?
We've identified two of the key skills here, communication and organising, which includes being able to prioritise and plan. And I've learnt something else too. Take the permission to be yourself, so that employers can really see what you can do. So we've heard all about the key skills. How do you go about getting them? I'm here in Middlesbrough to find out about one way, and there are many other similar opportunities. Let's go. This exhibition is part of the National Saturday Club, one of many charities that work to help young adults build skills. They run art clubs and involve young people in helping organise activities for younger teenagers.
In collaborating with them to curate the exhibition, they get an insight into planning, into budgets, into organising, and responsibility as well of deadlines. So we hope that these skills that we help them develop along the way will help them with whatever they want to do next, whether it's with us or flying elsewhere.
So I was uncertain on how art and creative thinking would link to my future prospects. So for example, with curation, working in galleries, but also working alongside other artists, it was all very new to me and I didn't fully understand it. But with National Saturday Club, I was able to think more like a working artist rather than just someone who pursues art as a hobby. I feel a lot more confident and a lot more strong in my sense of identity, because I believe that for every young person who works in art but also works with something that they truly love, it sort of helps them understand who they are and what place they have in this world.
You might be showcasing these skills to employers already, and we know not everyone can afford to do unpaid work or find the time for volunteering. Hopefully, hearing from these employers has given you some encouragement and some ideas. And most of all, good luck.
So since we last spoke, I've since gotten the job at North Bar, which is fabulous news. I guess my takeaway from this whole scenario is that it does all work out in the end. It is just right time, right place, and just having conversations with people and following it up and being persistent and showing up in emails, and you just have to pester a little bit. But my pestering is done for the time being, and I'm excited to begin work at North Bar.